You clicked on this video because you don't know about the triggers breakers. And what is that? So in this video, I'll exactly cover that. But before talking about all of it, who am I? My name is Wesley, and my mission is to help prevent 1,000 men from killing themselves because of their current addiction. Literally getting to suicidal thoughts because of their addiction to adult content. These are my type of videos, and if that interests you, make sure you subscribe. Also, I want you to actually visualize this. You are right now outside of your house and you meet with a beautiful woman. You didn't expect to meet this girl, but you just saw her in the street. And now thoughts are running inside of your head. Do I approach her? Would she reject me? And all these kind of thoughts. But she's really beautiful. You really find her attractive. She's your 10 out of 10, right? She could become the mother of your child. Like, she's that beautiful. You see her, you could approach her, right? But you have low self-confidence. You're not used to talking with girls. And the only time you actually interact with a girl is when you see her on your phone naked. So you're not used to talk with girls, and because of that, because of your low self-confidence, because you fear the rejection, you decide to not go and talk to her. You kind of continue your route and not pay attention to her anymore. You still look at her, right? But you know you won't be able to talk to her. You continue your path forward, and what happened? 2 minutes later, you're feeling this regret, and you're there wondering, why didn't I approach her? I don't know what you were going to do, but you're still there wondering, why didn't I approach her? I let this opportunity slip, and now I will never find that girl back again. You didn't take her number, you don't even know her name, but you know that in your city there is a girl at a point in her life. She was there and she maybe saw you, but you didn't act on it. And all of that because of your current addiction. The fact that you're fapping every day to these adult content online makes your brain used to see girls naked. And because you know it's shameful, you have guilt every time you do it. When it's time to actually approach a girl in the street, you remember this shame and this guilt, and your brain unconsciously makes you act as if people will know what you're doing. That's exactly the type of thing that happens because of your addiction. And from that, it makes you unable to act fully authentic because you fear that people might see through you your addiction. And the same applies when there is a woman you have to talk to. You think unconsciously that she knows what you're doing every day in the bathroom. So from that, you can kind of do another type of acting, right? You try to approach her, but you're scared. Oh, she might reject me. Usually what people do when they're not addicted, when they have high self-confidence, high testosterone. For example, I'll take me because I quit this for good. If I see a girl that I like, I will just go straight up to her. I will talk to her. And if she reject me, if she say, oh, I'm not interested, all right, I continue my life and it's things that happen, right? I can't expect myself to have a girl without getting rejected by other girls, right? Not everyone like me, and it's part of life. Whereas people that are addicted, they don't have this self-confidence, they don't have this high testosterone. So what happened? They fear the rejection, and because of it, they don't even approach women. They wait until a woman approach them, and at this point, what happened? It's maybe not the woman you want, right? It's maybe not the woman you like, but at least a woman approached you. And now you may do your life with a woman that you don't even like. And I see many people in that case. But I don't want you to be in that case. You're still maybe young, right? You're still having life in front of you. So I want you to quit this current addiction for good before it becomes your big problem. So if you're interested into getting into exactly that, first thing down in the description. On that, I'll continue directly with the video about the triggers breakers. So on this video, I'll write as title that it is the introduction because it's the first video of a long series. It's a series I will call the triggers breakers. And what will happen exactly in this series is what I'll explain right now. So basically, I'll start every video by actually talking about the trigger. So for example, I don't know, stress, anxiety, depression, boredness, just to pass time, right? These are all kind of triggers. And I'll also include other physical ones more, such as you going and play video games, you doing a specific type of sports, you going on social media. And for every trigger that I'll list, it will be a video. So one video is one trigger. After making this video, I'll actually explain what people usually do to counteract this type of thing. Usually it will be like using corn, but I'll explain more in every video, right? But I'll explain what people usually do, why it is not working, right? Because it is not working. If it will be working, you would not have problems. So unhealthy habits, as you know, don't really help with your thing that you think it's helping. And if I take stress, for example, you think that, for example, fapping to corn helps with your stress, but what happens after you're down, after you crash, after you recover from that, your stress comes back. And now you have a new stress, the stress of not fapping. When you go multiple days without fapping, you got stress, and it's not stress coming from the usual the usual place where it comes from, right? Maybe you have stress coming from work. What happened? Now you have stress coming from work and stress coming from the fact that you're not fapping. So in order to just deal with the stress coming from you not fapping, either you have to fight through it, or you have to actually go and fap. And people tend to choose the easier route, which is to go and fap again. And that will not deal with it. It only increases the future time stress of you not fapping until a point where it is an addiction. So this was my little like kind of side note on this trigger, but it is really the type of videos that I will do. And after listing all of the problems of what is currently, what you're maybe that's what you're stressing right now, right? But what the current triggers, what this current trigger is, I forgot to mention, at first I will help you actually find this trigger. So how can you see, oh, this is really my trigger, right? And I actually know that. Yeah, now that I finished all of that, I'll explain what would be better. So it's cool to say like, oh, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, but I tend to think that people that only criticize and not give like solutions, they're just not good people, right? Their comments serve to nothing. So I'm the type of people that if I have to criticize something, I will actually be there giving a solution back. And in this same way of thinking, in these videos that I will make, I will every time criticize things, so it's sure that I will propose also solution. And my solution will be good things that you can do to actually manage this type of trigger. So if you have this trigger, what you could do to manage this trigger, and what you could do to help make your recovery kind of faster a little bit. And at the end of this whole video, I'll give a real example. Like I'll be the clearer that I can. So I'll say like, okay, you for example, a video about stress. This will be the first video will be probably about stress. But I'll say like, for example, you get to work, and when you're at work, your boss do this, and this gives you stress because he gives you so much work. And now when you come back home, you feel like the only way to think. And I'll kind of take everything that I said in this video and actually tell you in this concrete example that I'm giving, the everything bad that it is that someone was doing, and how I was able to actually give him like examples and advice so that he could change, and now what he's doing and how it is better and how he got free, right? So a real example of someone going through this, applying the advice that I gave in the video, and how it will impact your life after it. So you can, and I'm sure nobody does this on internet. I didn't search, right? But I'm sure nobody does this, and it's going to be free, right? It's on YouTube. You can just watch the videos, and every trigger that I can think of, I will make a video on it. If you got a trigger inside of your brain, right? You think about a trigger and you tell yourself, oh, Wesley didn't make a video on it. Write in any of these videos a comment saying this trigger, Nana. Oh, I found this trigger, and this is maybe my trigger, and it's not really talked about, and things like that. Tell it to me in the comments. I'll actually read it because I read every comment that I get. And what happened. I'll make researches on it. If I already have knowledge on it, I'll plan a video towards that topic. If I don't have a lot of knowledge about it, I'll go read more and I'll go watch other videos that might be talking about it. I'll make more researches towards it. And when I have enough information about it, when I finished all of the videos that I already planned for this series, I'll include your video at the end, so that everyone have no reason to not escape, right? You have all your triggers listed up, all the solutions to these triggers, so that you don't have to make relapses again. So like I try to fast track your progress as much as possible. And if you can just leave a comment, like the video, leave a comment saying any triggers that you can think of that you would want a video like to that topic. And if you think that I could improve anything, just leave it also. On that, I'll actually ask you to take care of yourself. Don't forget, first thing down in the description.